Hello, this is Melissa with my awesome channel. I told you guys I was going to be coming out with something about zombie dinosaurs next week, but hey, you know what? I decided to come out with it today because I was bored and kind of had nothing better to do. So here it is, Chapter 1 of my story. Zombies, but with dinosaurs. Sorry, I had it on mute. Keep in mind this is all written on my phone, so it might have a little bit of a mess up here. So, I bet you were wondering about the weird title name of this book. Well, let me clue you in, this book is exactly how it sounds. See, I didn't want to be a rogue criminal going into this new world where the undead meets the start of prehistoric man-eating dinosaurs. But here we are, at the beginning of a very crazy and awesome story of how I, Jason Moana, did not save the world. Did I come close? Yes, closer than most. But did I feel like saving it? No, not really. In fact, when I got to the point where I could have saved it, I decided that keeping the world at the mercy of the zombie prehistoric man-eating lizards was a fantastic idea. Now, did we get into a clear autumn? Now, did we get into this mess? Now, how did we get into this mess, you may ask? Well, it all started on a clear autumn day of September 4th, 2042, where the Miller virus had taken effect and killed half of the people in the world, evolving by now into its 500th variant the world had ever seen. But this one was awful. In fact, it was dreadfully awful. It was killing people left and right and bringing no hope to the future of life. The masks did not help. No doctor or scientist were coming up with any cure, and our president had no other options. The Miller virus was evolving yet again into some other form of cancer that was not taking effect at all, which sucked. But you know what? You know what we're gonna do? And we did not know what we were gonna do. That was until one day, when our great president Adam Sanders decided to put forth a great big deal of taxpayer dollars into the world's team of great scientists to find a cure. See, our president wasn't the smartest pencil in the box. But let me tell you, as a person living in 2042, the world got really weird. In fact, so weird that if I could reiterate it for you, you wouldn't believe it. See, we have had this president since 2040, when our president ran as a joke because he thought he wasn't going to win anyways, and this generation had it in their heads that he wasn't going to win either, so a lot of them voted him in as a joke, but the joke was on us. Turns out, due to a lot of people actually taking the joke seriously and putting him down, since they really didn't like the other two candidates running, the great president, Adam Sanders, won in a landslide. Which was a shock to all of us, including Adam. When he found out he won, he just went into the office, ready to take over, and you know what? For reasons unknown, he turned out to be a great president so far, and actually doing what he is supposed to, which is still, by far, one of the biggest shocks of all time. But anyways, not important. So, our great Adam Sanders took over as president, and when the virus hit, he vowed to find a cure for Miller variant BU071TE, which is the official name for it, but again, not important. The doctors worked hard, night and day, with our money to try to find a cure. While also, next door to this research team, a whole operation just happened to be taken place by a rich scientist by the name of Catherine Payne, a living legend and old criminal who had been let go for jail on the promise that she would stop her bad ways and work for good now, because she was a woman and a feminist, and times were different here in the 2040s because women have a lot of power due to the New Age feminist agreement. Women don't really didn't really get much jail time anyway, and no one really cares about letting her out due to how rich she had made herself. So anyways, Catherine was working hard on her research, wanting to create dinosaurs in her lab so she could open up some sort of theme park revolving around it like in her favorite movie she liked that was made many, many years ago. But one day, while they were working, something happened. A scientist that was working on the cure accidentally dropped it, and the cure went airborne into the vents of the building, where the other group of scientists were doing well with their reinvention of dinosaurs, and even had some that had been growing wonderfully. Some adults, some baby dinosaurs. But what he did not know was that cure wasn't a cure at all. Instead, it was much worse. Instead, it was what we like to call the 8U071TE virus. A whole other virus that only killed the more harmless of the dinosaurs, the herbivores. But it didn't kill them. Oh no, it made them much worse. It made them turn into the undead, but only craving human flesh and brains, which was unfortunate for many in the room. They tried to contain, of course, Tried to contain it, of course, but failed soon enough. The fast-running herbivores running out of the lab and killing everyone in sight by eating them, and only a few were able to escape. But what was strange when they discovered the crazy zombie herbivores? They were surprised to find out the opposite effect that it had on the man-eating dinosaurs. Instead, it turned them into loving dinosaurs that only ate plants, and they were immune to the bites of the herbivores. When used on the carnivores, it actually made them very trainable, like dogs, which was a good thing until they found out that the zombie dinosaurs could also procreate and began to breeding fast. Other zombie dinosaurs that have now since been gaining population and flooding the earth with its horror. No one was safe from the dinosaur apocalypse. Just like me, Jason Moana, the man who almost saved the world but decided at the very last minute not to. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you all this amazing, heroic story of how I almost became a hero. So, that was the first part of the story, and I have a fun time writing it. Kudos to my friend Paola, who helped me come up with this, and a few other of my friends who thought this idea was so incredibly stupid that they couldn't even see the value in it. Joke's on you. I'm going to make this a whole book, and then hopefully one day introduce it to Adam Sandler, who would totally love it, I think. So, if you like the first part of the story, I will be posting more content about it, and let me know what you guys might think about this in the comments, if I get any subscribers for this story. Thank you, and have a good night.